whispers beneath the old oak. The first time Emma saw Daniel, he was sitting under the old oak tree at the edge of the university campus, sketching in a worn notebook. His quiet concentration intrigued her. Day after day, she found herself passing by that tree, pretending to look elsewhere while secretly stealing glances at him. One autumn afternoon, the wind carried one of his sketches across the grass, landing at Emma's feet. She picked it up and realized it was a delicate drawing of the oak itself, except, in the corner, a faint outline of a girl reading a book. "That looks like me," she whispered, startled. Daniel walked over, a little embarrassed. "It is. I see you here often. I hope you don't mind." Instead of being offended, Emma smiled. "Maybe, you should show me more someday." That day marked the beginning of countless afternoons beneath the oak. She brought her favorite novels, he brought a sketchbook, and together they shared quiet conversations about art, life, and dreams. The world seemed to slow down in those golden hours, where laughter mixed with the rustling leaves. As months passed, friendship deepened into something unspoken yet undeniable. One evening, when the sky was painted in shades of pink and orange, Daniel finally confessed, "Emma, every drawing I make feels incomplete unless you're in it." Emma's heart raced. She placed her hand gently over his. "And every story I read feels lonely unless I imagine you there." Under the fading sunlight, they shared their first kiss, soft and uncertain, yet full of promise. Years later, after graduation, Emma and Daniel returned to the same oak tree, this time, with a small ring in his hand. Kneeling on the grass, Daniel smiled nervously. "I sketched this moment 100 times, but none of them compare to reality. Emma, will you marry me?" With tears in her eyes, she whispered, "Yes." The old oak stood tall above them, its branches swaying like it had always known their story would bloom beneath its shade. The letter left behind. The train station was nearly empty when Emma arrived. She clutched the small envelope in her hand, its edges worn from days of hesitation. Inside was the letter she had written for Daniel, the boy who had been her best friend, her quiet protector, and the secret holder of her heart. They had grown up side by side, sharing school benches, whispered dreams, and countless sunsets. But when Daniel enlisted in the army, everything between them shifted. Emma never confessed her feelings, she only waved him off with a smile that hid her trembling. For 2 years, his letters had been her only light, full of jokes, hope, and the warmth she missed. Then, suddenly, the letters stopped. And now, word had come, he was returning. Emma waited at the platform, heart racing with every whistle in the distance. When the train finally pulled in, soldiers spilled out, greeted by cheers and tears. She searched desperately until her eyes caught him. Daniel, a little older, shoulders broader, his gaze scanning the crowd. Their eyes met. Time froze. "Emma," he breathed when he reached her, his voice rough but steady. "Daniel." She could barely say his name. The letter in her hand felt heavier than ever. He noticed it. "What's that?" Her fingers tightened around it. "Something I wrote for you, a long time ago. I never had the courage to send it." He gently took it from her hand, his calloused fingers brushing hers. Without breaking eye contact, he opened it and read silently. Her words spilled out, confessions of late-night longing, dreams of holding his hand, fear of losing him forever. When he finished, Daniel's eyes glistened. He stepped closer, so close she could feel the warmth of him. "Emma, do you know why I kept writing to you, even when it was hard? Because you were my reason to come back. I didn't stop because I forgot. I stopped because I was afraid you didn't feel the same." Her tears finally fell. "I've always felt the same." And before the crowd around them faded into cheers again, he pulled her into his arms. The world, the war, the waiting, all disappeared in that moment. They had lost years, but they had finally found each other. The Promise Beneath the Lanterns. The annual Lantern Festival had always been Emma's favorite night of the year. The riverside glowed with thousands of floating lights, each carrying a wish whispered into the evening breeze. But that night, she wasn't there just for tradition, she was waiting for someone. Liam. They had met a year ago under the same lantern-filled sky, strangers pressed together in the crowd. He had accidentally bumped into her, nearly dropping the lantern she held. Their laughter had broken the ice, and by the end of the night, they had shared stories, secrets, and a promise to meet again at the festival, no matter what life threw their way. Emma waited by the old willow tree near the water, the very spot where they had said goodbye last year. She held her lantern close, the flame trembling like her heart. Minutes turned to hours. The festival roared with joy around her, but she felt alone, her hope flickering. Maybe he had forgotten. Maybe it had only meant something to her. Just as she was about to let her lantern go, a voice called softly, "Emma?" She turned. Liam stood there, breathless, his hair damp from running through the evening rain. His smile was nervous but warm, the same smile that had lived in her memory for 12 long months. "You came," she whispered, relief washing over her. "I promised, didn't I?" he said, stepping closer. "Trains broke down, streets flooded, I thought I'd lose this chance. But I couldn't let you think I didn't care." Her eyes glistened. Without a word, she handed him the lantern. Together, they lowered it into the water, watching it drift away, carrying their wish side by side. "What did you wish for?" Liam asked. Emma smiled. "For you to be here." He chuckled softly, then reached for her hand. "Then my wish already came true." As lanterns floated into the night sky, their fingers intertwined, and the world around them blurred into light. Under the glow of 1,000 promises, Emma realized she no longer needed to wish, because Liam was there, and that was enough. Hesitant at first, then growing confident as the melody unfolded. Evelyn paused her sketching, captivated. When the last note faded, the man looked up and caught her gaze. For a moment, the air between them shimmered with unspoken words. "You play beautifully," she said when he walked closer. "And you draw beautifully," he replied, nodding at her sketchbook. "I've seen you here before." His name was Daniel, a traveler passing through the town, staying with an uncle for the summer. They began to meet often at the river. Sometimes she drew while he played, sometimes they simply talked. Their conversation stretched easily from hopes to dreams, from childhood memories to hopes for the future. As the weeks slipped by, Evelyn realized her days felt incomplete without him. Daniel, too, seemed to linger longer each evening, as though reluctant to let the night steal their time away. But one evening, his expression was heavy. "Evelyn," he said, his voice low, "I have to leave soon. My music school in another city is waiting." Her heart tightened. "So soon?" He nodded. Silence fell, broken only by the murmur of the river. Then he reached for her hand. "I don't want this to end. Will you wait for me? When I return, I promise, I'll play for you every evening." Tears blurred her vision, but she smiled. "I'll be here. The river knows. The bridge knows. I'll wait." The next day, he left. The riverside felt emptier, but Evelyn kept coming, her sketchbook filling with drawings of bridges, sunsets, and quiet reflections of hope. Months later, as the first blossoms of spring returned, Evelyn sat again beneath the fading sun. Suddenly, a familiar melody drifted through the air. She turned, heart racing. There he was, Daniel, standing on the bridge, guitar in hand, smiling as though no time had passed. Evelyn ran to him, and he whispered against her hair, "I kept my promise." And beneath the painted sky, they began again.